Hello and welcome to video number 2, completing your first Digication reflection. This video comes after video 1, getting started in Digication. So if you haven't viewed that video, make sure to head over to that one first. The link to this presentation will be in the notes of the YouTube video so that you can access the presentation on your own time, as well as all of the links that are embedded within this presentation. In this video, we are going to be talking about completing your first reflection. We'll go over an assignment overview and the requirements, what is critical synthesis, creating your first reflection in Digication, adding your instructors, and submitting your Digication link to Canvas. Let's look over the assignment overview and requirements. This assignment meets course outcomes in EED 433, EDP 311, and BLE 408. As stated in the overview, the purpose of the reflection is for students to integrate their learning across courses and in your field experience. This assignment will be due each week by Saturday at 11:59 p.m. You will only need to submit your Digication link to one course each week. Please check Canvas so that you are aware of which course you need to be submitting your link to. Also included in this document are the specific questions and sections that you'll need to include in your learning log. We'll be talking about these in more depth in just a moment. You'll also find the Digication Reflection rubric that will be used in EED 433 and EDP 311. Be sure to check Canvas for the BLE 408 rubric, as it has some slight variations in order to meet the outcomes for that particular course. Next, we'll look at the sections of the learning log. Up at the top, you'll see it says Goals that Guided My Week. In this first reflection, you won't have had those goals because you wouldn't have set goals the previous week. This is the first time that we're doing this, so you can leave that section blank. Next is personal growth and development. Here, you'll need to evaluate and reflect on your learning experiences. What progress and challenges did you experience in meeting your goals this week? Again, as this is our first week, you didn't set up the week with intentional goals. You'll do this in future weeks, however. Also in future weeks, you'll be documenting and describing specific experiences that demonstrate your development of the core competencies. I've linked documents that help support you with the core competencies down below in this presentation. As a reminder, the core competencies are the expectations for practice in your clinical experience. We expect you to have experience doing evidence-based observations, instructional conversations, outcome-based small group instruction, experience with leading whole group practices, as well as analyzing multiple sources of data. You can use this document or the core competency checklist for interns as each week you think about the types of experiences you wish to have in your internship. This document is not intended to be completed with every single box checked out, but rather to be used as a planning tool to self-monitor your progress within your internship. The next section is the critical synthesis. We'll talk about the critical synthesis in more detail in the next slides. Finally, you'll have the learning goal. This is where you will set your goals for your next week in your courses and your internship. And that's where you'll be selecting and sharing which core competency you'll be focusing on and really being deliberate in thinking about what steps you'll take towards achieving your goals. So let's start by talking about what critical synthesis isn't. Critical synthesis is not a summary of what you learned, nor is it a list of unrelated ideas. It's going to be your job as the writer to pull these ideas together to create meaning for yourself and for your audience. So what is critical synthesis? The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines synthesis as the combining of often diverse conceptions or concepts into a coherent whole. When you combine multiple ideas into your coherent whole, you're essentially you're creating something new. And that's quite high on Bloom's taxonomy over here. When you're working on your critical synthesis, you'll consider all of the learning that you've done through these 3 courses. You'll consider what theoretical understandings and content knowledge you now have from the research that you've read, or perhaps videos or even podcasts that you've viewed that your instructors have assigned. Also, you'll use the in-class discussions as places to cement your understandings. Again, this critical synthesis is an integration on what you've learned based on research and theory. In future weeks, once you've already begun your internship, you'll also make direct connections between what you're learning about and reading about in your courses and what you're seeing and experiencing and applying in your internship. Be sure to use the academic language from the disciplines you're learning about. It might be helpful to keep a log of the important vocabulary that you're gathering through the week so that you have it ready and available to use for your weekly reflection. In your critical synthesis, you'll also want to use specific examples as well as in-text citations and references to the course material in order to support your ideas. Now I'll be walking through the steps for creating your first reflection in Digication. In your Mary Lou Fulton Teachers College Digication Reflection template, you'll want to switch over to Edit mode in order to begin editing your Digication. When you scroll down, you'll see that the directions that we just went over are included here for you so that you have access to them from week to week. It's not necessary to copy and paste the instructions from week to week. However, there is a simplified template here which you may wish to copy and paste to support you in ensuring that you have each section completed. The way that you'll add text, or at least one way to add text, is by clicking on this plus symbol here in the bottom right corner. When you do that, you can add a section at the bottom by clicking Slide. Now it says that there's this section that's called a slide, however, there's no content. In order to add content, we can click the plus Add Content, click that we'll be adding text, and now we're able to write something in the box. In order to copy and paste the template, you can go back up here to the simplified version with the prompts, copy, and then go back down and paste it into this text box here. And then you can begin typing. As you can see, you can type right into the template, add your response, and then go ahead and click on the outside space when you're finished. Now, in order for your instructor to be able to view what you have typed, you must come up to the top and click Published Changes. Another important step you'll need to take the first time you're setting up your Digication is to add your course instructors to your Digication so that when they click on your link, they are able to access it. Let's walk through this step by step. You'll need to make sure that you are in Edit mode. Then you'll click this menu, go down to Settings, and here you'll see Permissions and Share. Right now it's set only private to me, however I have shared it with Lisa Elliott. When I click Edit, I can add my Ed Psych professor, Jill Oliver, and when I do that, Digication searches for her email address. And I can go ahead and add Jill right there, as well as my other instructors that are going to be needing access to my Digication. Be sure to also include your site lead or clinical experience instructor so that they can take a look at what you're learning and the goals that you're setting in order to plan for the huddles and the meetings that they'll be having with you. When you've done that, you can click Save Settings. Finally, let's discuss submitting your Digication link to Canvas. Step 1, again, a reminder to make sure you have clicked Publish Changes in Digication. Step 2, copy your Digication link. Step 3, go to Canvas. And Step 4, submit the Digication link under Assignments. Let's walk through that step by step. First, I'll go ahead and copy my link to my Digication from up there at the top. Then I'll go into the course that I am submitting to for the week. Now I need to find the assignment where I'll be submitting. Digication Weekly Reflection. In order to submit, I click Submit Assignment. I'm going to be submitting a website URL. I'm going to click to view it or paste and Submit Assignment. Assignment successfully submitted. Thank you so much for your patience and perseverance in getting this process started. We hope that your Mary Lou Fulton Teachers College professional portfolio is a place to really demonstrate your rich learning and experiences throughout your time in this program. We wish you much success and are here for support. Thank you.